Hi, everyone, and welcome to Gentle Movement at Home for Tuesday, June 2nd. Super glad you're able to make it today and join Neil and I for this the session. So my name is Jen Hansen. I'm the Director of Education at Pain BC, and I'm joined today by Neil Pearson, who's a physiotherapist and yoga therapist. Just a little note about these sessions. As many of you already know, Neil isn't able to provide specific medical advice, but we're really happy, and in fact, we really enjoy having a chat after the session if there was a question about any of the movements or specific to the session that you're curious about. We're really happy to talk about those sorts of things, and you can just enter them in the Q&A. And I will read them to Neil and we'll have a little chat about it. We do recommend that if you have specific questions to speak with your healthcare provider, and you can see on this screen there's a number of clinics offering virtual consults if you do have anything specific you want to talk about. The broadcast is being recorded. Today we're not on Facebook Live, but we will post tomorrow. And the video as well lives on our YouTube channel. I think we're up to 24 different sessions that we've done. So there is lots of choice in terms of the different, if you want to go back and retry any of them, they're there. I'm going to launch a poll at the end of this session. We really appreciate any feedback you can give us and let us know how this went for you. Do email us at education@painbc.ca if you have any questions. And if you want to enter a question in the chat, please do so. This week, we've got Neil is back on June 4th at 1. On Friday, June 5th, we've got Sue Schellink, who's an occupational therapist. She's done another session for us before. That was really a lot of fun. I hope you can join us for both of those. And then Neil will see you next week again as well on Tuesday, June 9th. So that's all from me. Neil, I'll hand it over to you.
Great, thanks, Jen, and welcome everyone.
Go ahead.
Great. Can you hear me all right, Jen? I'm thinking she must be able to hear me okay,
yes,
and that you can hear me okay. Great, thanks. All right, so welcome, and we're going to do this session in a chair. As with all these sessions, if you want to shift, if you want to pause, if you feel like you need to stop, catch your breath, change positions, stand up, move around, whatever you'd like to do, please go ahead and do it. Really, the idea here is to find some gentle movement that helps us with ease of movement and helps us to find a little bit more calm in the face of ongoing pain. So hopefully that's where we're going to get today. So feel your feet on the floor. If you can, sit at the edge of the chair. If that's not going to serve you at all today, put your back against the back of the chair. Whether you're against the back of the chair or your back's out in the middle of space, then just find a bit of length of your spine, sort of shift around a little bit, find a comfortable position that you can stay in for a bit. While you're here, what I'd like you to do is to pay attention to the sensation of your feet on the floor. So you can feel your feet just resting on the floor, maybe your bare feet or socks or shoes, doesn't really matter which. You can just feel your feet, the weight of them resting down the floor. At the same time as you do that, you can also feel your body resting on the chair. So the back of your thighs, the back of your buttocks, maybe you're back against the chair, but you can feel all those sensations. So I'd like you to pay attention to that. So you can feel your feet and you can feel your body on the chair, and you can also feel your breath. So you can notice the sensations of your breath right now. So you can maybe hear your breath. You can probably feel the air as it comes in, as it goes out. You'll be able to feel some sensations of your body. So as much as you pay attention to the sensation of your breath, also notice what's happening, or notice the fact that you can feel your feet on the ground, and notice that you can feel your body resting in the chair. So today's going to be, I'm going to keep on reminding you to divide your attention. Now, some of you may feel like that's enough, just to pay attention to your feet and pay attention to your body in the chair and your breath. Some people would prefer to continue to pay attention to what's happening around them. So I don't know if you've experienced this before, but sometimes as you take your attention to your breath and then take your attention to your body, it's like all of a sudden all of your attention is on you. And that's perfectly fine. If it feels good, great. Sometimes it feels even better to be able to also divide our attention so we can still see what's around us and we can still hear what's around us. And at the same time, we can feel our feet on the floor and our feet on the chair and the sensations of our breath. Just play around with that for a moment and just see what feels better for you today. Whether to take the attention inside or continue to have some attention to what's happening around you, that's up to you. You can decide how you do this. If you're not sure which would feel better, try one, then try the other and see how it goes. So I'll keep on reminding you about this today. So for right now, what I'd like you to do is as you breathe in, lengthen your spine a bit. So you can feel your feet and you can feel your body on the chair. And when you breathe in, you feel your spine get a bit taller. And as you breathe out, let your body relax a bit. So breathe in, your spine gets a bit taller. Breathe out, just let it relax. So you're releasing the tension in your body and you're releasing your breath at the same time. So just do that a few times, like someone's pulling you up straight. And then as you breathe out, you just slowly let yourself relax back down again. So you're building up the effort on the inhale. You're releasing the extra effort on the exhale. And you're dividing your attention here. Even as you're doing this with your spine and your breath, you can also feel your feet and your seat. And maybe the room that you're in, you're still paying attention to it some. Now make a change. When you breathe in, you still find that effort of lifting up, but hold the effort while you breathe out. When you breathe back in again, just recreate a little bit more effort. And then as you breathe out, hold that effort. When you breathe in this time, you may feel that's enough effort, or maybe you want to add just a bit more. And when you breathe out, you stay lifted up. And then next time when you exhale, release again. So breathe in, lengthen up, breathe out, exhale back down again. Let your spine relax a bit. If you need to shift around a bit, go ahead and do that. Let your arms rest down beside you if that feels okay. This time when you breathe in, you're going to feel like you're lengthening your arms. You're reaching from your fingertips and your wrists and your elbows and your shoulders are all reaching down towards the floor a little bit. And when you breathe out, let that release. So you can feel your feet on the floor and you're seated in the chair and you can feel your breath. And as you breathe in, you reach with your arms. You breathe out, let that effort go. Breathe in, reach with your arms. Breathe out, let that effort go. Let's do that a couple more times. Find the just right amount of effort. You don't have to make it all of your effort. And you release when you breathe out. Great. Now this time, hold the effort gently. So when you breathe in, you reach with your arms and just keep on reaching them a bit while you breathe back out. Breathe back in, either maintain that effort or reach a bit more. Breathe back out, hold the effort. Remember, even with this, you do not need to keep on going. If you're feeling like it's time to stop for any reason, if you want to or need to, go right ahead. And then next time you breathe out, release that effort in your arms again. Your hands come back to your lap. Feel free to shift around a bit if you want to. So this time you can either have your legs bent with your feet on the floor, or you can take your legs straight out in front of you. Doesn't really matter which way you go. I'm going to go with my legs bent here. So the idea is, instead of reaching with my arms or reaching with my spine, I'm going to reach with my legs. Like I'm pushing my feet into the floor a little bit when I breathe in, and then releasing that when I breathe out. So you can feel your feet and you can feel your seat and you can feel your breath. And when you breathe in, push your feet down into the floor just a bit, like you're reaching with your legs. Breathe out, let that tension go. Gotta find the just right amount of effort here. And letting go with your breath and letting go with your legs as you breathe out. Now, the next time you do this, you're going to maintain that effort. So as you breathe in, you can feel your feet and your seat, and you can feel a gentle pushing down of your legs. Hold that effort while you breathe out. When you breathe back in again, you can add a bit more or just maintain what you've got. you're holding that gentle effort while you breathe in, holding a gentle effort while you breathe out. If you find yourself the effort's building up and it's time to stop, go ahead and do that. When you finish your next exhale, let go of your legs. Maybe just do that one more time. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, let go with your legs. If it feels okay to shift around, shift your legs or your spine or your shoulders and neck around, go ahead and do that. You can feel your feet on the floor, and you can feel your seat in the chair. And you can find that gentle length of your spine, the softness around your shoulders, softness around your face. Smooth out your breath just a little bit. Just try to make your breath just a little bit longer. Make your breath just a bit smoother. Remember, you can smooth out the feeling of your body moving. You can smooth out the feeling of the air as it comes in and out your nostrils. And you can smooth out the sound of your breath as well. But as you do that, you're dividing your attention so you're still feeling your breath, but you're feeling your feet and you're feeling your seat and you're feeling that gentle length of your spine. And maybe you're also paying attention to what's happening in the room. So keep dividing your attention. Next time you exhale, create a bit of tension around your shoulders. So breathe in, and as you breathe out, it's like you're just engaging the muscles around your shoulders just a little bit. Maybe it's like you're hugging them in. Just feel a little tension in the muscles around your shoulders just while you breathe out. And then when you breathe in, let that go. Just try this. Inhale, you just stay relaxed. As you breathe out, gentle tension around your shoulders. Hold it while you breathe out. Let it release while you breathe in. So this is going to feel a little bit opposite for a lot of you. You may not have done this before. So the idea is that as you breathe out, you gently engage the muscles. So just try this a bit. You breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to gently contract the muscles around your shoulders. Hold it gently while you breathe out. Then when you breathe back in again, let it go. When you breathe out, tense around the shoulders. When you breathe back in again, let it go. And just do that one more time. So breathe in, and as you breathe out, gently tense around the shoulders. Breathe out, let it go. And then circle your shoulders up and down and circle your shoulder blades around so you're coming into that sort of rounded towards the front, then pulling them back. Whatever distance would feel good. Remember, if you have any pain or tension or discomfort, don't crash through it. Try to find that spot where either you're going up to the edge of it or you're just moving within the pain-free area. Well, it might not be pain-free though, right? It might be the area where the pain's not getting worse. So if you already have pain, maybe you move where it doesn't make the pain worse, or you go up to where there is a little bit of that edge of the pain. And then try going the other way. Just circle your shoulders around the other way, just gently. While you're doing this, see if you can divide your attention a bit so you can still feel your feet and you feel your seat and you feel your spine and you can feel your breath while you do this. If that's too many things to pay attention to, then sort of pause, regroup, decide how many things you can pay attention to. So we're going to try the same thing around our elbows. So as you breathe in, just stay in that relaxed position. But as you breathe out, tense up the muscles around the elbows. So you might feel the upper arms and the forearms engaging just a bit. And then when you breathe in, let that go. So next time you breathe out, just tense around the elbows, right and left. See if you can do about the same. And breathe in again, let it go. Each time you breathe out, just a bit of tension there. Be hard to find, and if it is, just keep on working. So you breathe in, you stay relaxed, breathe out, just gentle effort around or engagement of the muscles around your elbows. And then let that go. And then take your arms and just straighten them out this way, back and forth. Just find that right just amount of movement around your elbows, around your arms. You don't have to worry about crashing through anything, just move. Because movement changes our chemistry. You know, sometimes we hear people say motion is lotion. It's sort of finding the right amount of movement or the right kind of movement. And that's part of what this is about exploring. When your arms come back down next time, relax there. So breathe in again. When you breathe in, you can feel your feet and you can feel your breath and you can feel your seat in the chair and that length of your spine. And when you breathe out, gently contract around your wrists and your hands and your fingers. Just gently engage those muscles. So maybe you can feel your fingers curl or fingers lift or hands curl. When you breathe in, you let it go. When you breathe out, you create that gentle tension of your wrists and hands and fingers, thumbs. When you breathe back in again, let it go. So find the right pace for you, the right length of inhale, the right length of exhale, and find the right effort. It doesn't seem like there's a lot to do here, but there's a lot to do here. Sometimes one of the most important things around finding a way to move when we have pain is figuring out what's the right amount of effort. And we often make more effort on the inhale, but it can help to actually play around and see, what if I made more effort on the exhale? So you're breathing in and relaxing around your wrists and hands and fingers and thumbs. You're breathing out, just gently contracting those muscles a little bit. And after you inhale next time, just let that go. Once again, if you need to move, go ahead and do that. And just start to do some twists of your wrists, move your wrists around. And as you're doing it, you can bend your fingers and thumbs in and stretch them out. And then just put your elbows right by your side and turn your palms up and down. Just finding that just right amount of movement. It's the idea of just doing some movement to try to let the body relax, let the muscles relax while you're doing this. But as you're doing this, maybe you can still feel your feet on the floor and your spine lifting up tall and your seat on the chair, and still pay some attention to what's happening in the room around you. So find those right things to pay attention to while you're doing this. And let your hands come on back down again. Now, as we've gone through this so far, I've been asking you to pay attention to a lot of different things. If you're finding that paying attention to this many different things is too much, if it's agitating in any way, then pick a smaller number. It may be that the best thing for you to do is to pay attention to your body as you're doing the movement, or body as you're tensing your muscles, and don't pay too much attention to other things. Or maybe it'd be best for you to pay attention to lots of different things. So sort of check in, decide how you want to proceed, because we're going to go through the legs and then we'll go through the spine doing a similar thing. So if you need to shift around, go ahead and shift around. Feel your feet on the floor, feel your seat in the chair, feel the length of your spine. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out next time, tighten up the muscles around your hips, like you're just trying to contract or engage the muscles around your hips. And then when you breathe in, you're going to let that go. So you got to find the right amount of effort. So don't do it as hard as you can. Just engage the muscles a bit so you can feel them tense as you breathe out. And then as you breathe in, you're going to let those muscles relax. So once you get that idea, once you find the ability to tense those muscles up, again, decide if it would be best to continue with this where I'm paying attention to my breath and paying attention to my body in the chair and paying attention to my feet on the floor and that gentle contraction. Or maybe it's better to do fewer of those things, or maybe it's best just to pay attention to the sensation of the muscles engaging as you breathe out. And as you finish the next one, let those relax, shift your body around a little bit. Maybe you can circle your hips or circle your upper body around. So your pelvis is moving around on your hips a bit. So find the right amount of movements that you can do this way. You can do smaller movements like this if that feels better. You can go side to side and front to back, would never be good. So if you are doing a rotation around, sort of go the other way so you can feel yourself rotating around on your hips the other way. Great. When you come back to the center next time, pause again. If you can, feel your feet on the floor, feel your seat in the chair, feel your spine long. Take a breath in, and this time when you breathe out, engage the muscles that are around your sort of lower thighs and calves so you can feel things tensing up a bit around your knees. And then when you breathe in, let that go. Divide your attention as much as feels right. Feet, your seat, your spine, your breath, and as you breathe out, gently engaging the muscles around your knees, lower thighs, upper calves, that just right amount. So each time you breathe in, you let the muscles relax. Each time you breathe out, you gently engage them so your body stays mostly where it is, but you feel gently drawing in. Breathing in, let it relax. And just do that one more time. And then when you breathe back in again, let it relax again. And then take your knee and just straighten it out and bring it back. Even while you're doing this, decide the right amount to do. Only straighten that leg out as far as it feels good. If it would feel good to hold the leg up while you do it, go ahead and do that. And then put that leg down and try the same thing on the other side. Just gentle movement back and forth, helping the muscles relax a bit more, letting go of the effort that you just did. And then put your foot on back down again. So this time the gentle contraction will be down around your ankles and your feet and your toes. So feel your feet resting on the floor. Feel your seat resting on the chair. Feel the length of the spine. Feel your breath. When you breathe out, engage the muscles around your ankles and feet and toes. Not a big effort. When you breathe back in again, release that tension. You still feel your feet and your seat and your spine and your breath. When you breathe out, add in gentle engagement of the muscles down around your toes and your feet, your ankles. And just do that one more time. So as you breathe out, gentle engagement of those muscles, toes, feet, ankles. Hold it while you breathe out. Then release it while you breathe back in again. And then once again, lift your leg up. If it feels okay, hold on to the back of your leg and circle your ankle around. Whatever direction feels okay. Just gentle movement. Moving the ankle around, dividing your attention so you can feel the movement at your ankle, as well as your breath and your seat and your spine and your feet. That leg back down, pick up the other leg, hold on to it if that feels okay. Circle that ankle around. The just right amount. Great. And then put your foot back down again. So we're going to end going through the spine. So same idea, it should feel like it's the right thing to do. When you go to do the gentle tension of the muscles, be gentle at the beginning. If you think it would feel better to tense up more, go ahead and do that. Feel your feet on the floor, feel your seat in the chair, feel the length of your spine, feel your breath. So breathe in, and as you breathe out, engage the muscles around your lower back. You're just trying to draw in down there just a little bit. And then when you breathe in again, let that release. Divide your attention if you can, feet, seat, spine, breath. As you breathe out, gently draw in with the muscles around your lower back. Finding that just right amount of effort. It might be really small or it might be bigger. It's going to depend on you and it's going to depend on the time of day. Then shift your awareness up before we do anything else. Take your attention up to your ribs around your sort of mid-back. And do the same thing. As you breathe out, gently engage, like you're trying to hug your ribs into the back of your body. And when you breathe back in again, you let that release. So you can feel your feet and seat and spine and breath. And as you breathe out, you gently draw in, gently hug in with the ribs at the back of your body. You're just engaging back there just a bit. I realize I've been saying hugging with your ribs. You're using the muscles around your ribs to do this. Gently engaging the muscles around your ribs at the back of your body on your exhale. And then letting them release on the inhale. All right, and then let that go. Take your attention up to your upper back and your neck. So feel your feet on the floor, feel your seat in the chair, feel the length of your spine. As you breathe out, gently engage the muscles. So maybe you can feel the muscles around the ribs, muscles around the back of the neck. Just engage them just a little bit. I can feel my shoulders engaging a bit as I do this. I'm going to continue to try to do this without turning on my shoulders quite so much. So I feel my feet, I feel my seat, I feel my spine and my breath. And as I breathe out, I gently hug in those muscles around my upper back, the back of my neck. trying to find that small amount of engagement without too much tension in the muscles. Otherwise, when I breathe back in again, I let it go. And just do that one more time. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, gently engage those muscles. Great. And when you finish that next exhale, just pause for a moment. Let everything go. Bring your chin down towards your chest and round your spine. Then come on the other way. And just move your spine back and forth. Now I'm moving my spine a fair amount right now, but you don't need to move your spine that far. If it feels better to do a smaller movement, do that. But see if you can get a little bit of rounding, a little bit of a, almost like a forward bend kind of thing, a flexion thing through your whole spine. And then a little bit of a back bend or even more if that feels okay. Just moving your spine back and forth. So if there is any pain or tension or discomfort with this movement, see if you can go up to the edge and then come on away. And maybe it feels okay to go to the edge and give a little nudge. Or maybe today's the kind of day where you just go to the spot where you say, yeah, that's where it is. All right, so now I'm going to move within that area. So I'm going to move where it feels all right. But as you're doing this, feel the movement in your low back, your mid back, your neck. And see if you can divide your attention still. You can still feel yourself in the room. You can still feel your feet on the floor. You can still feel your feet in the chair. And then pause. Let your spine rest in a more neutral position for a second. Take your left ear down towards your left shoulder. Bring it back up to the center and then take it down the other side. And once you have this movement of gently going back and forth, you find that just right spot, either going to the edge or moving within that pain-free spot or that spot where the pain does not get worse while you do this. And that can change over time. You might feel the more you do this, the further you can go. You might feel the more you do this, you're feeling like it's starting to get almost like a smaller movement. And so you can decide to make the movement smaller, and you can just stop when you feel like that's enough. And then come on back to the center again. Lift your spine up a little bit tall, put your left hand on your right knee, your right hand to the side of the chair, and just bring yourself into a bit of a twist, and come on back to the center, and take your spine the other way. Same idea here, only move to the spot where you feel like that's the right amount to go. So if you run into a place where you feel like that's enough, decide maybe you're just going to go to that spot, or maybe you're going to pause before there. You'll not go and give it a nudge. You'll try to find that spot where you can move inside that range that feels all right. Or maybe today is a day where it feels like this is good to push it a bit, where you feel like that seems to be the right thing to do. You can take some practice to start to understand or start to become more discerning for that. And it does take a little bit of play, a little bit of curiosity as to what would be better. Is it better to work in that range, or is it better to give it a nudge? And of course, that's not going to be the same thing every single time you do this. So find that time and know that it's okay, or find the time to stop and know that it's perfectly fine to stop and pause and regroup or say that's enough for right now. All right. So come to the edge of your chair again. So maybe sit a little bit further forward on the edge of the chair. Your knees are about 90 degrees. Your feet are pushing down towards the floor. So feel your feet on the floor, feel your seat on the chair, feel the spine lifting up. And you're just going to engage your legs just a little bit by coming forward, almost like you're going to come up into a standing position, but you're just going to get your seat to come off the chair. So you take your weight forward with your hands on your knees or the chair, and you come forward to the spot where you feel like your seat has just come up a bit, and then you put it back down again. And you got to make sure that you're in a chair that's not going to move around behind you. As you can see, mine's planted on this yoga mat, so it's not going to slide around. So if you are on that, then don't lift your seat up. Keep your seat in the chair so you don't scoot that chair back behind you. So as you do this, as you come forward, as the weight comes on your feet and you start to come up and you just feel your body coming up when you put it back down again, notice what's happening in all these spots I've been asking you to pay attention to. You can feel your feet, you can feel your seat, you can feel the length of your spine, and you can feel your breath. Divide your attention between all those things and maybe the room as well. And then shift your weight forward as you pay attention to all those things. Take the weight on your feet more, let your seat come up a bit, let it come back down again, come back to that position. If you notice yourself tensing your body a lot, do this with the least amount of effort you can. If you notice your breath getting tight, see how well you can do this so you keep on breathing. So as your weight comes forward, as your feet push down a bit and your seat comes up, you try to keep on breathing as you do it. And so maybe it would feel good to breathe out as you come up. Maybe it'd feel better to breathe in as you come up, and you can try one or the other. I've been doing this a few times. If you're feeling like this is enough, then you go ahead and pause. Don't wait for me. I'm just going to go one more time. I'm trying to pay attention to my feet and my seat and my spine and my breath and the engagement of the muscles. And when I come back down again, everything releasing again. All right. So once you've done that, come back to that sitting in the chair. Take your left ear down towards your left shoulder. Take your your left hand up across the top of your head. So it's almost reaching towards your ear on the other side. And just gently draw your head down to the side. Come on back up. The hand release down the other side. Take your right hand up, come down to that just right stretch, come on back up, and just do that a few times. So you want to have your spine tall rather than here, be up in this position. You can feel your feet and your seat and your spine and your breath, and you just draw your head down until you feel like just the right amount of stretch to the side of your neck. And then you try the other side. Now, if you would like a bit more stretch with this, you can take your head to the side, draw down, have your hand holding on to either the side of your leg or the side of your chair, and that helps keep your shoulder down a bit. And you release and come on back up. So for right now, you're not doing a long hold, just going to a spot that feels like the just right amount, pausing there just for a moment and letting it go. So getting curious with what does it feel like when I go to that spot where there's a good stretch? Does it feel like I'd be okay to stay? Does it feel like it's best just to go in there and come out? Because for each of us on different days and with different exercises, we'll find different things. Sometimes it's best to move in, move out, move in, move out. And other times it feels best to sort of go to that spot. It feels like a place where you can stay and just hang out there. So if you are still moving your neck, next time you come on back up to the center, just pause there. And take our attention to our arms this time. You can still feel your feet on the floor. You can feel your seat on the chair and the spine lifting up. And like we did at the beginning, just a little bit more length for the spine. Make your spine a bit taller. And you're going to hold on to that while you breathe in, while you breathe out. At the same time, you're going to push your feet down. So I'm asking you to engage your body just a little bit. Push your feet down just a bit like you're reaching with your legs a little bit. Reach up with your spine just a little bit. Then reach your arms down, but this time have your palms towards the front and pull your shoulder blades back a little bit. And just try to find a spot here that feels okay, where you're not pulling back too far, where you're not engaging too much, where you feel like, yeah, that's all right. I'm engaged. I'm doing some work here, but it's not too much. And then from here, as you breathe in, take your arms up. If it's okay to take them all the way up to the sky, take them up until your palms touch. And as you breathe out, come on back down again. You can let your palms face down as you come down. And roll your palms back forward, reach up. And while you're doing this, you're going to breathe in the whole time you reach up and breathe out the whole time you come down. So you need to figure out how long does it feel good to breathe in and how long does it feel good to breathe out. Maybe it's just 2 seconds. So maybe the movement is faster like this on the way up and back down. Or maybe your breath is longer. Decide on how it feels right now. Find that just right amount of length of your breath. And while you're doing this, find the right amount of movement of your shoulders. Make sure you're not going too far. Make sure you're not going to a spot where it feels like there's too much effort or you're crashing through pain or tension or discomfort. If you feel like it's time to pause, go ahead and pause. If you're doing okay, keep going. Some of you may even want to look up to where your hands get. So it can feel good to look up towards the sky where your hands are going. Come on back down again. If you do happen to notice that your shoulders are coming up like this as your arms are going, so it's probably don't lift your arms quite so high if you have that happening. Find that tall spine. Feel your feet on the floor. Let your shoulders relax just for a moment and check in. How is your breath right now? How's your body feeling right now? Because it can feel good to just lift your arms up with your breath and bring them back down again. And it can even feel better when our spine's a bit taller, when we're engaging our legs a little bit, almost like we're standing up. Sometimes while I'm doing this, I like to imagine standing on a beach or standing on a shoreline in front of the ocean, looking towards the east. And as the sun comes up, I don't know if you ever had that opportunity to be able to do that, but as you feel the sun coming on your body and moving your arms like this, there's just that really wonderful feeling of warmth coming on your body while you're moving your arms up, welcoming in the new day. All right, if your arms are still going, then just let them rest again for a moment. If you need to shift anything around, go ahead and shift it around. Feel your feet on the floor again. Push down with your legs a bit. Lift up with your spine a bit, so a little bit of muscle engagement again. This time you're going to make a little bit of a change. You're going to take your arms straight out to the side. And then you're going to take your left foot and you're going to turn your left leg out so your left foot is heading towards the left side. And then you're going to just take your other leg, you're going to shift forward a little bit so your right hip's a little bit forward on the chair. The other knee is on the floor like this, but your heel's a little bit behind your toes if you look down at that foot. It doesn't need to be really twisted a long way, but you can feel your foot's a little bit turned this way, the leg is turned this way, your spine is reaching up, you're pushing your feet down. And this time take your arms out this way, straight up from the shoulders. Push down with your feet, lift with your spine, reach your arms out like this. And this time you're going to hold for a while. So rather than lifting your arms up and coming back down, hold your arms here. And if it would feel okay to turn and look over the top of that hand, almost like you're trying to look straight down your arm and across the middle finger out towards the distance. So now you can divide your attention between your feet and your seat and the length of your spine and reaching of your arms and whatever it is that's way out there in the distance. Or maybe you want to imagine that you're standing somewhere else or seated somewhere else doing this and there's something else out in the distance that you like to look at. And you're breathing. If your shoulders are coming up like this, if your body's slouching down, it's probably time to rest. If you can let your shoulders soften down, they're working, but they're a little bit soft. Your feet are still pushing to the ground. Your arms are reaching out this way. And you're breathing. You can feel your breath coming in and your breath going out. And just like at the beginning, you're holding that gentle effort all the way through the inhale, all the way through the exhale. If you start to feel like that's enough, then maybe it's time just to hold on just a little bit more, or maybe that's it. Maybe you're saying, now it's time to let my body come down. And sometimes you don't really fully know until you come back to the center. So come on back to the center. Shift around if you want to, sort of recatch your breath if you felt your breath was going a little bit faster there, and just check in. How are you feeling now? How's your body feel? If you have pain or tension or discomfort, how is that feeling? How's your energy? What's happening in your mind? What's happening with your body tension? And maybe there's something you want to regulate to try to calm back down again. And we're going to do exactly what we just did on the other side. Maybe there's something you just learned by doing the first side that you want to take into doing the other side. Maybe you could have stayed longer. Maybe it would have been better to stop sooner. Maybe you needed to work more on calming your breath or on keeping your body tension low. You just have to decide for yourself. So sit towards the edge of the chair. Turn your right foot so it faces over towards the right side and shift your hips a bit so that your left hip is a little bit in front of your right hip. The other foot, just pivot your foot just a little bit so your heel is a little bit behind the toes on your left foot. Push your feet down in the floor, reach your spine up really tall, take your arms straight out. You can either look straight over top of the middle finger of that hand, or you can look forward wherever your neck feels all right. So engage your legs just a bit, engage your spine just a bit, reach with your arms just a bit, smooth out your breath. It feels good to look over that finger and look out at the distance wherever your finger is pointing to right now, or imagine something nice that you want to look at way out there. And see if you can hold all that. Keep that gentle effort in your legs and your spine and your arms and your breath. Keep on checking in. Does this feel safe? I feel like I'm going to be okay if I stay here. Can I keep my breath calm? Can I keep my body calm? If there's pain or tension or discomfort, how is that doing? If you're still here, your spine is reaching tall, Your arms are reaching long. Your feet are gently pushing down. You can feel your breath, all those different things. If you stop, that's fine. We want to figure out how and when to stop while we're doing these things to serve us best. So if you are still here, let your arms come on back down again. Bring your head back to the center. Shift back into the center of the chair. Let's give your hips just a little bit of a shift around. Let your left hand come down to the side and side bend your body to the side. Come on back to the top. Side bend to the other side. So keep your spine tall. Try not to slouch down as you do this. So your spine's tall and you're bending over to the side. Just go back and forth a few times, whatever feels like the right amount of movement. If you'd like more stretch, you can take your arm across your body as you do this. So you sort of lift it up towards the sky and then take it across. So you get a little bit more side bend in your body while you do this. If you try that with your arms and it doesn't feel like the right thing, just go on back, having your arms at your sides and doing a side bend of your spine. Notice what even here, notice what happens to your breath. Make sure you're not pushing too hard. Come on back to the center again. Give your body a bit of a shake. If you're feeling like it's time to pause, if you're feeling like it's time to imagine the rest of the movements, go ahead and do that. You always have that choice. So we're going to take a similar position to what we did before. So you're at the edge of the chair. You're going to turn that left foot over to the side. Shift your hips so your right hip's a little bit forward. Shift your right foot so your heel's a little bit behind your toes. So it's a little bit like your body's turned this way a little bit. You're going to take your arms back out where they were. But this time, take your left palm and turn it up towards the sky. And then come into a side bend. And then come back to here. Just try this a few times. So it's like you're side bending your body. If your head's okay with it and neck's okay with it, you're looking up towards the sky. If it isn't, you can look straight ahead like this instead of looking up. So if you're not sure, play around with it. Either look straight ahead as you come into that side bend, or as you come into the side bend, look up towards the sky. Now, while you're doing this, see if you can keep pushing your feet down in the floor and reach your spine tall and keep your breath flowing. And if it would feel okay, you can also try to come up and just stay there for 1 or 2 or 3 breaths. Just decide if that feels okay. You're reaching up with your spine, with your arms, pushing down with your legs, feeling your breath, and then coming back. Let your arms come on down. Give them a bit of a shake around. Put your legs back in the center again. Same as you did before. Check in. How do you feel now? I'm going to do that same thing on the other side. So make sure you approach it with maybe what you just learned from doing the first side. So maybe you'd like to go further. Maybe you'd like to be more gentle. Maybe you'd like to hold it up there longer or less. You can decide for that. So at the edge of the chair, turn the right foot over towards the right side of the room. Shift that left hip forward just a little bit. Put the left heel a little bit behind the front of the toes on that side. Push down with your feet a bit, just like we've been doing. Hold that while you breathe in and breathe out. Lift up your spine a little bit. Hold that while you keep on breathing in and breathing out. Take your arms straight out from your shoulders. Turn the front palm up, the right palm up, and come into a side bend. Either looking up towards your hand, or as you do it, looking forward. So you side bend your body, but your neck isn't getting the same side bend on it. You decide what you want to do with your neck. Decide on how far you want to go when you go to the side. Trying to keep your spine lifting up, your legs pushing down, and keeping your breath going. The next time you go up, if you're still going, maybe it's time to pause. Maybe you can stay here. Reach bottom arm down. You feel yourself side bending. Feel your feet pushing to the floor. Reaching up with the top hand and looking up there with your eyes and with your neck, and breathe. You're still pushing down while you lift up. If you're feeling like that's enough, come on back to the center. If you want to pause there for another breath or two, go ahead and do it. Once you're done, you let your arms come on down. Come on back to the center. For a moment, put your back against the back of the chair if you've got the back of the chair. If you're not, just stay where you are. And just release a little bit of the tension. Let your shoulders relax. If you feel tense around your jaw or your eyes or your face, let that go a bit. Shift your shoulders around a little bit. Shift your hips around a little bit. Then come back away from the back of the chair if that feels all right. Reach your spine up tall. Push your feet down into the floor. Soften around your eyes. Soften around your ears. Soften around your jaw and your tongue and your lips. Find some softness in the muscles around your shoulders. Maybe move your shoulders a bit if that feels all right and let them sink down just a bit. You're sitting here, your legs are relaxed. You can feel your feet resting on the floor, yet you're not pushing down. So if you're feeling those muscles still engaged, find some softness in those muscles. Your spine is a bit tall, but you're not in that spot of really trying to get a lot of effort. You're just sitting up in a more relaxed, somewhat taller position, trying to find softness. Even though there's effort to be here, trying to find some softness to being here. Muscles around your spine are still working a little bit, but not too much. You can relax the muscles around your eyes, around your ears, cheeks, jaw, lips, tongue. Notice your fingers and hands. See if there's any tension there you can let go. Notice your toes and your feet. See if there's any tension there that you want to let go. Then once again, bring your chin down towards your chest. Lift your head back up again. And just gently move your spine this way. Not crashing through any pain. Maybe just going to the spot where you feel like that's far enough. Find, if you can, move in that place where it feels good. Syncing this up with your breath so you can feel yourself breathing as you're doing this. Maybe you're breathing in as you lift up, or now as you go down, or the opposite. Divide your attention a bit so you can feel this movement. You can feel your breath syncing up with the movement. You can feel your feet on the floor. You can feel the seat on the chair. And then start to move more of your spine so your upper back starts to get into it a bit, and your shoulders start to come forward just a little bit. But your lower back is staying mostly still right now. It's more of a upper back, chest, neck movement right now. And then slowly start to work your way down. So try to bring in more of your spine. So maybe down around where your shoulder blades are. And then see if you can start to come down so you get your lower back and bones as well. Again, not crashing through, but you can feel your breath. You can feel your feet. You can feel your seat. Pausing when you want to, knowing it's okay to stop long before I'm telling you to stop. Continuing to check in with your body and your breath and your thoughts and your pain to see, is it time? And then when you come back to the center spot again, find a little bit of that length of your spine. Twist over to the left a little bit. Come on back, twist over to the right a bit. Find that right amount. So not so far that you are trying to see how far you can go now. You just bring your spine, low back, mid back, upper back, neck, into a gentle twist. When you go to the left side next time, pause there for a breath. So find the just right spot over here. Take a breath in. Yourself, breathe out. And come on back to the center. Same thing over the right side. Come on around to that just right spot. Place where you know you're safe. You know you can stay. You know you're not going to regret it later. Take a breath in. Take a breath out there. And come on back to the center. Put your back against the back of the chair. If you feel the need to wiggle around a bit, wiggle around a little bit. And then check in. Notice your feet on the floor and your seat in the chair and the length of your spine. And notice your breath. Notice yourself sitting in your room, wherever you are. Notice what's happening in your body right now. Maybe there's tension or discomfort or pain. Maybe you can feel all those non-pain sensations of your body. Notice what's happening in your thoughts and notice what's happening in your emotions. Notice what you're feeling in your heart. Maybe there's some sensations you have around your chest, around the area of your body where your heart is. Just notice whatever's there right now too. And maybe there's something you want to remember about this practice or something you want to remember about what you just checked in with. And if there is, just to hold on to that thought. So sort of take that idea and hold on to it somehow. Because I know in a moment, Jen's going to come back on here and ask you to fill in a poll. And there might be some questions that people ask. And so if there is something that you really want to remember for later, just do what you can to sort of park that idea so you can come back to it when you're ready.